Attorney, justice for all. Last time we left off, we met up with I can't talk. We met up with Maya's cousin, Pearl Faye, and now we're trying to prove her innocence after a murder took place in the spirit chamber room thing. Spooky ghosts. Anyway, let me get some stuff set up here and then we can get going. How's that sound? I think that sounds great. Alright. Cool. There you are, babe. Hi. Alright, let's get going. So if I remember correctly, we needed to go find something so that we can unlock the secrets in her heart. I think she's trying to remember what she ate for breakfast. Alright. So I think we need to move around, go back to the winding way. Let's go back to the meditation room. Oh, yep, something's happening.
Hey, it's you, pal. So you're gonna be her lawyer, I bet.
Yes.
Oh, I really feel bad for you, pal. Just this once, I wish I could be on your side.
Detective Gumshoe?
Yeah, I shouldn't be saying that kind of stuff to you. Hey, you're a cute kid. I'm not scary. Honest.
Wow, I never knew Gumshoe liked kids.
Hey, I know. I'll show you something cool. How's this? It's a real, genuine pistol.
Detective Gumshoe? What are you doing showing her that... what are you doing showing her something that dangerous?
Oh, sorry.
So, Chief... Give me a second. Gotta cleanse the cords. Anyway, what about Maya and the charges against her?
I don't think you can win, pal. If you're talking about proof, I've got a few pieces.
You've got proof?
Yeah, pal. That puffy-haired photographer's going to testify tomorrow.
You must be talking about Lotta. Actually, speaking of Lotta... I took some hot pictures earlier. Huh? Remember? I took some pictures at the murder scene inside. Lotta's hot pictures. I wonder what her camera captured.
Besides, you must have realized it by now, pal. There's no way anyone other than Maya Fey could have done it.
What am I supposed to say to Pearls now? About Dr. Gray.
The victim wasn't super famous, but people still knew who he was. His face was all over those tabloid shows last year.
Yeah, I know.
I was looking through some newspapers from last year and... Huh? I could have sworn I had cut an article out, but I guess I must have lost it.
He's searching through his pockets, and boy are those big.
Looked really interesting, too. Hey, do you have a copy, pal?
A copy of that article? I think Dr. Gray might have bought a copy to the office when he came by. I think I do. Do I? I do. Here you go. Dr. Gray brought this over to my office the other day, and...
Hey! It's that news story. The one about the malpractice suit.
14 patients died, and it caused a huge stink.
Yeah, that's not all, pal. Things only got worse after that.
You mean the car accident the nurse died in?
Here we go. I brought my own clipping with me today. Here, pal, this is for you.
Alright, thanks. Must be an obituary. What? I already talked to you about that. There we go. About Maya's trial tomorrow.
Got 2 pieces of news for you, pal.
2?
Yeah, bad news and even worse news. So, which do you want to hear first?
I don't really care. It doesn't change the fact that I'm not gonna like it.
Alright, pal. Well, the prosecutor for the trial is
Von Karma? What? Von Karma? You son of a bitch. Manfred Von Karma. He was an awe-inspiring veteran prosecutor. He never lost a case in the 40 years of his career, and he raised a fearsome disciple. The horrible aftertaste of the evil he force-fed me is something I'll never forget. Wait a sec. But didn't Von Karma stand trial and...
That's where the other piece of bad news comes in. Von Karma you're facing is actually his successor.
Successor? So, who is this successor to Von Karma?
Literally, pal. It's Professor Von Karma's kid. This kid became a prosecutor real young, like 13, and hasn't lost a trial since. That's what they call a prodigy, pal.
Kid, huh? Whoa, wait a second. 13? The kid became a prosecutor at the age of 13? I mean, a prodigy like that? I would have heard something about.
Oh, no. The kid was born and raised in Germany, pal. That country's got a lot of stuff and is a great place to develop a person's talents.
Germany, huh? That's probably why I've never heard of this person. Ugh, still, all it takes is someone mentioning the name Von Karma. And I get terrible flashbacks to that case. Stop it! Get a grip of yourself, Phoenix. None of that matters anymore, now that he's gone. Huh.
That detective is so nice. Aren't you happy, Mr. Nick?
Happy? About what? Let's see. I should probably go find Lotta. She's probably outside. Maya must be in another round of questioning. I hope the detectives are taking it easy on her, but these kinds of cases aren't usually taken lightly either. I guess I'll come back later. Okay. Okay, well, I am Confucian. Where do I go? Wait, I know where to go. I need to show her the fucking... Like, I'm really sorry, but... And I know, like, you totally had your heart set on. I can't, like, take it. Who said anything about giving this to you?
Take that!
Let's see. The victim. Eeny, miny. I believe you do know who Dr. Gray is. I told you, like, how many times do I, like, have to repeat myself? If you're so totally sure, then proof. Well, it may be possible that you never actually met Dr. Gray in person. I do believe you might have at least indirectly known of him. Like, what do you mean, like, indirectly? I should try to show that the possibility existed for now. So something that shows a possible connection between Edie and Dr. Gray.
Take that!
Take a look at this newspaper clipping. Like, what is it? A story about an accident? Please read the victim's name. Mimi Miney? Miney is a pretty rare last name, wouldn't you say? Miss Mimi Miney. Wouldn't happen to be a relative of yours, would she? So you noticed. She was my older sister. Sorry about your loss. Your sister. Was she a nurse? Perhaps at Dr. Gray's surgical clinic? Gray Surgical Clinic. I don't think I need to tell you that the clinic was run by the victim, Dr. Turner Gray. Which is how you knew of Dr. Gray. You knew him through your sister. Success. Please, tell me all you know about Dr. Gray. My sister's name was Mimi Miney. She was, like, a nurse at Dr. Gray's clinic. That's what I thought. I heard that, like, Dr. Gray was really tough on people. Like, a total slave driver. My sis was, like, always coming home totally wiped out because she was overworked. Wiped out? So is that why she fell asleep at the wheel? That guy, like, drove my sis so hard. Like, that's why the accident happened. The one where 14 patients died from malpractice? Yeah, like, I think that was the doctor's fault, too. My sis was pushed by, like, everyone's expectations and, like, her duties and stuff. And that pushed her to her death. Oh. I'm sorry. So, like, are we done? I've, like, already told my story to, like, everyone.
Do you understand now, Mr. Nick? This is how a psych-lock works.
Well, I don't plan to pry into people's hearts unless I absolutely need to.
The lock this time was pretty easy, but you might meet people who aren't as willing to give in later on. If you don't have enough proof, be careful and know when to stop trying.
Alrighty then.
Mr. Nick?
What's wrong?
I've never left Karain Village.
Really? Wow, that's, pretty amazing.
You are going to meet Mystic Maya, aren't you? Please tell her I said hi.
Hey, wait! She ran off again. Well, I know Indy's secret now. I still don't have any idea how I'm going to save Maya. I don't even know if I should go in there with a smile or a straight face. What am I supposed to do? I'm almost out of time. Can I really do anything? Can I really save her? Sorry to keep you waiting. Huh? Must be Maya. It's been a long time, hasn't it, Phoenix? That voice. It's Mia. Even without me being here, it looks like you've learned to stand on your own. Mia. She's Maya's older sister, and my mentor. Yes, I know that. I played the first game. She was a top-notch defense lawyer, but a certain case forced her into retirement. But whenever I'm in trouble, she comes to help, just like this. Her spirit comes back from the other world and borrows Maya's body for a bit. Phoenix, you can't make that kind of face in front of your client. A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets, and especially when it gets bad. Mia. You can't smile at the end if you haven't been smiling the whole way there. In any case, the face you're making now is no face to show a client, Phoenix. But... So tell me all about it. I'm going to guess that my sister is in a lot of trouble again. I told her everything about what had happened in the last 2 days. Mia closed her eyes, deep in thought, while she listened. I see. Mia, what am I supposed to do? It's pretty clear what a good lawyer does in this situation. And that is? Tell me, please. Believe in your convictions. And fight for the complete acquittal of your client. You think Maya's not guilty? How can you be so sure? I know she is, and I'll give you a hint as to why. Yes? Mediums can't have dreams. They can't? From what you told me, it sounds like Maya was having a dream while channeling. Yeah. She said she dreamt that she had died and had been buried in the ground. But that is impossible. You've heard it from her, I'm sure. When a medium channels her own spirit, disappears. Which means that it's impossible for her to dream during that time. Then, what does this mean? I think it's safe to bet that Maya was set up. A setup? It's up to you to blow the lid on this case tomorrow and show how she was set up. How am I supposed to prove her innocence when I have nothing to go on? If you're looking for a clue, it's already in your hands. It is? Just as it sounds, Phoenix. You already hold the key. Really? Come on, show me the key to this case. The key, huh? Alright, I'll show it to her. The key I hold. It's either this, or it's the actual fucking key. Mia, have you seen this key before? Ah, the key. It's literally the key to understanding everything that's happened in this case. This key? Phoenix, listen. Right now, that key is sitting in your hand. However, it shouldn't be. It contradicts the facts. What does she mean? I'm certain this key will be a piece of evidence that makes your case tomorrow. You already know everything you need to know. You know what the key to this case is. That is enough. But... How can I win tomorrow without knowing who the real murderer is? Who could have... I didn't know it at the time. But this day was going to end with a turn for the surprising. Oh shit. Mia? What? What's wrong? That's right. Only I can see the Cyclops. Which means Mia must know something about the real murderer. For this to be something that she would hide under lock and key from even me. What in the world is going on? To be continued. Excuse me, goodness. Yes, save the progress. Save all the progress. What? Prosecutor Von Karma? You mean... No, I heard it's his successor this time. Successor? So basically, Mia possessed Maya's body again and was talking to us about some stuff, but she's got Cyclops on her, so she probably knows some stuff about the real murderer. It's all just wild. Manfred von Karma was a really sinister man. He pulled all sorts of nasty tricks. Also, he could win. He was a man obsessed with the word perfection. He had a perfect record for 40 long years. Who knows what sorts of dirty tricks he used to get each of those guilty verdicts. And now his successor. I wonder what kind of person they will turn out to be. It's no good. Mystic Maya. Pearly! You showed up. Thanks for coming all this way.
I was really worried about you.
Hey, where's your mother? Didn't you two come together?
Mother is watching over the trainees. She said they have training for 2 days straight with no breaks.
Huh? Then you came all by yourself?
Yup. I snuck out of the manor and followed a map.
Don't tell me you walked all the way here.
Of course not. I ran.
Oh my. If it takes 2 hours by train. Oh man. Did she Naruto run all the way here? Pearly? What about the train?
Huh? What's a train?
I give up.
It's time, isn't it?
I'm really scared. What if Von Karma tries to do something to me? At least I know Mr. Edgeworth would be nicer to me than Von Karma.
Mr. Edgeworth? Who is that?
He's Nick's rival and boyfriend. What? Well, he's also a friend.
Objection!
I still remember him as though I'd seen him only yesterday. She's an alien. Every trial was a scorchingly fierce battle until the very end.
Objection!
It was always back and forth with them. But when you're rivals for life... Maya, please don't mention that name ever again. Huh? But why, Nick? I'm sorry, Maya. I forgot you don't know. He's gone. And he's not coming back. What? Wait a second. What's that supposed to mean?
Court will commence shortly. Please proceed into the courtroom.
Let's go. Now's not the time to talk about that anyway. Nick? I think he had to resign and go out of the city after that last case. I don't exactly remember.
Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. Are the prosecution and the defense prepared?
What is with this kid?
Ahem. Mr. Wright, are you prepared?
Huh? Yes, Your Honor. Why does he always seem mad at me? Mr. Phoenix Wright. That is a girl. You must be a little shocked because I'm a woman, correct? Hold on. So she's the famed successor to Professor Von Karma? I am Franziska Von Karma, the prodigy. I see. I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. Is that a whip? Revenge? Is this about her father, Manfred Von Karma?
If it's something of a personal nature, I'm sure you could... Ow!
I'm talking. If you interrupt again, my whip will do the speaking for me. Please speak with your mouth like a normal person. I beg of you. Yow! Make no mistake. I will defeat you. Right. I bet the judge is into that. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Prosecutor Von Karma, your opening statement, please.
Those of Von Karma blood only have one fate, and that is perfection. The defendant, Maya Fey, will find no escape from her guilt on my watch. That's how you know it's an anime. Oh, God.
Very well. What is the defense's position?
Your Honor?
Does the defense wish to enter the plea of not guilty?
Yes. Foolish fool who foolishly dreams of foolish dreams. 10 minutes. I give the defense 10 minutes before it changes its plea. That's right. I'll have you running for the justified self-defense plea in no time. Justified self-defense? A plea usually reserved for a person unintentionally... A plea usually reserved for when a person unintentionally kills in defense of themselves. We could very easily make a solid case that it was a self-defense, but... The defense stands by the plea of not guilty, Your Honor. Because to plead justified self-defense is to say you did kill someone. How foolish. If that's how you want to play it, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I shall now call the first witness. She's just as scary as her father. Like father, like daughter, I suppose. Witness, your name and occupation?
Yes, sir. My name is Dick Gumshoe. I'm a detective at the local precinct. Ah!
Get to the point already. Explain to the court the details of this murder.
Yes, sir. If everyone would please look at this map. The channeling chamber has no windows and the door was locked shut. At the time of the murder, only the victim and the defendant were in the room. What were they doing in there? They were channeling a spirit, sir. Channeling a spirit?
That's quite the look of disbelief there, Your Honor.
Anyway, a few minutes after the channeling started, gunshots were heard coming from inside the room, sir. Few of the witnesses broke the door down and rushed into the room. Ah, and that's when they found that the victim was already dead, correct? I believe this is one of the most open and shut cases I've ever presided over. So, how is the victim killed? I was about to get to that.
Stop wasting my time, then.
The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir.
Says what every time?
The shot was fired from point-blank range. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. So the victim was stabbed before being shot.
That the case is very open and shut. Yeah, he does seem to say something along those lines every time.
This is the victim's autopsy report, sir. Court accepts it into evidence. Mr. Wright, you may question the witness. Direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir.
The murder weapon, Detective Gumshoe? Whose pistol was it?
It was the victim's.
The victim? Now, why would he have... Why would he have a pistol? Who cares? The point is that you are missing... The point that you are missing is whose fingerprints are on that pistol. If you're not already paying attention to that, then I suggest you start.
Fingerprints? There were fingerprints? Along with the victims. The defendant, Maya Fays, were also on the grip, sir. So the defendant's fingerprints were left on the murder weapon.
Ah, I walked right into their hands. I walked right into her hands there.
The shot was fired from point-blank range.
Gotta give her a Valley Girl voice. So, something like this? So, it has to be something a bit like this. Does it have to be kind of haughty-taughty? So, about how far away is that?
It's anywhere between 12 to 20 inches away.
Amazing, that's the size of my erect dick. I'm kidding. And how do you know he was shot at point blank? Tisk, 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 Mr. Phoenix Wright. I grow tired of the foolish foolery of the foolish fools of this... God damn it. I grow tired of the foolish foolery of the foolish fools of this foolish country. Excuse me? Gunpowder burn. Gunpowder burn. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole.
Gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire, and that gets real hot, pal. And there were definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead.
Wow, never knew that. Live and learn, I guess. Stabbed? And what was he stabbed with?
Fruit knife. I see. And whose knife was it? Looked like it belonged to the Fays, sir. And of course, Maya Faye's fingerprints are all over it. All over it, huh?
This does not look good. Ha 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 ha! What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death.
Hold it!
How severe was the wound?
If it had been half an inch more to the right, it would have hit the victim's heart. After a stab like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand.
This testimony makes it sound like Maya had stabbed him with the intent to kill.
The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing.
Hold it!
Are you sure he was stabbed first, then shot?
Yep, sure as sure can be. One look at the wounds, and you'd come to the same conclusion too, pal.
A fool is a fool who will only listen to the foolish opinions of foolish fools. Pistol shot to the forehead at point blank is certainly enough to kill instantly. Does it matter then which was first? Think a little more before you open that big mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What a pain in the ass.
That's enough! We have clearly established how the victim was murdered. I brought the 2 murder weapons with me today. Very well. The court accepts them into evidence.
The date of death was June 19th at 3:15 p.m. Eyewitnesses claim to have heard 2 gunshots at this time.
And 2 murder weapons are both with the defendant's fingerprints on them. This does seem like an open and shut case.
Naturally. This is going from bad to worse. As if the summary just now wasn't oversimplifying things to the extreme. Your Honor, feel free to slam that little gavel of yours. After all, there's no room left for doubt, is there?
That is quite true, Mr. Wright.
Yes?
Even in the face of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It's the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust your plea, you stand to lose.
See? Just as I promised, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You would change your plea in less than 10 minutes. You must do what you feel is right, of course, babe.
What will you do, Mr. Wright? Will you change to justified self-defense? Because now would be the time to do so. This is your final chance.
This is a huge decision. I'd better think this through all the way. Let me save first. Oh boy, I don't even know. I might have to consult something to make sure I'm actually going the right way. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, not guilty. We plead justified self-defense. We would basically be confessing to murder. After the trial, Maya's life would be ruined, and she'd be labeled a murderer. I can't let that happen. Your Honor,
Have you reached a conclusion, Mr. Wright?
the defense will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short of a complete acquittal. You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Detective?
Yes, sir.
Present the final portion of your testimony. The final strike.
Yes, sir. Now see here, proceedings are run by... Eek! Oh, yes, of course. Go ahead, detective, and give your testimony.
I think the court would like to hear about the other piece of incriminating evidence. Who just allows... The judge is very wishy-washy. He's too afraid to stand up to anybody.
Sorry, pal. There's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. Excuse me. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, is not fighting back. So this is the costume. There certainly is evidence of a back spray of blood on this. This piece directly links my fate to the crime, sir. I see. The court accepts this into evidence.
All right, Mr. Wright. Mai's fingerprints are on both murder weapons and blood splatters on her clothes. Could this situation get any worse? Ha! What's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. I think this is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should have to offer. Feel free to sulk off with your tail between your legs, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Please stop calling me by my full name. It's disturbing.
Sorry, pal.
Why didn't you say so in your testimony earlier?
You're kind of scary today, you know, pal.
Come now, Mr. Wright. There's no need for that kind of attitude in my court. All right, just please stop glaring at me like that.
This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't have to plead that until you get all the facts straight and all the evidence is put in place. Until you actually thoroughly go through the case and say, oh, they did it out of self-defense. Maya's costume?
Yeah, she was wearing this when we arrested her.
Maya, she's wearing her channeling costume today, too. Phoenix is scary. What about the chick with the whip? I mean, the detective and the judge probably don't find her scary. If you smell what I'm stepping in. Anyway. Is she not allowed to wear anything else?
As you can see, it's covered in blood.
This blood on the costume.
Lab results show that it is the victim's blood.
So there is blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes.
Definitely not good. So, were there any other clues that you could glean from this piece of evidence?
Well...
If you must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad, not enough time. Let's move on.
Ah, yes, Miss Von Karma is perfectly correct.
Now even the judge is on our side. But if I bite off more than I can chew here, what should I do? Press further. Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. There must be something about this costume. What about that hole? I think that's a hole.
Mr. Wright, Miss Von Karma's logic is perfect. There's no way for you to poke a hole in it. Ah,
looks like my time is up. So the costume. There is one little thing. Your Honor, actually, there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence.
What? What are you talking about, pal? Where is this problem you were talking about?
I've come this far. There's no turning back now. The problem I have with this piece of evidence is here. Look at this graph! I ask the court to please take a look at the sleeve of this costume.
The sleeve? There's a tiny hole here.
A hole? That wasn't in the report.
Hold on. What's this around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder.
Gunpowder? No one ever told me.
A hole that smells of gunpowder?
Looks like I found the hole I was looking for. Your Honor, the only logical conclusion you can make is that it must be a bullet hole.
Order! 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 This is a very grave matter. It's best we correct the court record first before anything else.
Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir.
Is she actually smiling? What else is she hiding? Pull yourself together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony. That just now was a fluke. Nothing more. Listen here, bitch. How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight.
While I agree that it is a mistake on the part of the police, what Prosecutor Von Karma has said is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then...
No way!
Detective Gumshoe, please continue with your testimony.
Yes, sir. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back.
He wasn't fighting back? How do you know he was or he wasn't?
We could find no evidence that the victim put any sort of struggle, pal.
So did the murderer have a fight with the victim or not? Depending on this, the circumstances around this murder changed drastically.
We're in real trouble now. If only I had something to prove that the victim did fight back. That Von Karma, she thinks she can decide the verdict with this testimony alone. Well, I'll find a critical contradiction somehow. Then I'll have her. What about the hole in the sleeve? Wouldn't you need a bullet hole in there? Wouldn't that prove that he was fighting back? Wait, I should probably save just in case I fuck up. Oh. Detective Dick Gumshoe?
Yes. Having you call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling.
You said that my client killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back.
Yeah, I did.
Dick. Then what, may I ask, is the bullet hole you police overlook supposed to mean?
What does it mean?
I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is this what it means to not fight back?
Right. It seems you are correct. If the victim had tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything.
All right. The wind seems to be shifting. Ha! What is it? What is with that "are you finished yet" laugh? Are you finished yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Miss Von Karma?
It seems that Maya Fey was shot at by the victim. However, that is only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense plea.
That is correct.
But I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty.
Ah! Now that you... Why, that's right.
Which means the defense has yet to prove anything at all. No!
Well, yes, that's true.
Furthermore, just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense.
Huh? How so? Ah!
Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired added in, of course.
You mean by myself? You want me to put together the scenario all by myself? Ah! Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Excuse me. During the channel, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. The scenario you have put together does make sense. Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Wright?
On the surface, it does seem to make sense. However, I won't give up that easily.
Please refrain from glaring at me like that. Now then, your cross-examination, please. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest.
There is quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant, and in body strength, and it seems unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim.
Now that you mention it, yeah, I guess.
You think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Maya Fey was in the middle of channeling, was she not? When channeling with the Karain channeling technique, the medium physically changes. With the nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor. I don't believe it. She even studied up on the Karain channeling technique. Like I said before, I am perfect.
About what you were talking about. I didn't quite get it. Never mind. Let's continue with the testimony. Of course, the victim used the last of its strength to fight back, sir.
Wait, go back. I need to press him on that one. So he was stabbed, but the stab wound did kill him.
But if you think about the blood loss, he was probably hurt pretty bad.
How badly hurt would you say he was?
Actually, I went to give blood the other day, and afterward, I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. I guess the damage was maybe about 10 times the dizziness. Ah! Sorry. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun.
Where in the world did that pistol come from?
Looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically bought it for that day.
But a handgun?
He got it off the black market about 2 days before the murder.
Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? Was he taking precautions against something?
The victim took a shot. Because they were too close, he missed.
So you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made then?
Sorry, pal, but yeah, that's what I think. 2 of them were already fighting when a shot was fired.
Maya, I'm really glad you weren't hurt.
The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it.
Maya has never fired a gun before in her life.
The victim had already taken off the safety. With the safety off, even an amateur like you can fire it just by pulling the trigger.
Even me? I wonder. Now do you understand? Von Karma's logic is perfect. His testimony certainly makes us look very bad. But there's gotta be a contradiction in there somewhere. And uncovering it is going to uncover the truth. I can feel it. He did kind of linger on that 4th one. This one right here. Okay. I got a feeling it's either this one or this one. Let me look at what happens when he presses him again. Damn it. Your Honor. Damn it. Let me, let me just time stone my way back here. Mamu have come to bargain. Damn it. That's ass. Time stone. God, there's gotta be something in here. Damn it. I need help. Oh. Missing the tiny hole on this costume will be the prosecution's undoing.
Huh? What do you mean?
This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony. Sorry, babe, I was flipping back and forth between the statements.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank. If that were true, then where is the gunpowder burn on this costume?
Gunpowder burn?
This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole.
Oh!
But there is not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume.
That is a very good point. And what exactly does that mean?
It means... I didn't mean for it to sound like that. It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other.
Hmm.
I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything away. Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see. In the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then that they were separated that he fired. How was that? As if that was even possible. According to the testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would not have had the strength to push the defendant very far after that. Well, then... That's right! The defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. And then, while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took his shot. There, that should satisfy even you.
That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright?
I must be careful. I can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and think. Obviously, something probably doesn't make sense. There's a fatal flaw in her argument, Your Honor.
Fatal?
Flaw? Yo!
Very interesting. I would love to see where this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation. There has to be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. There must be a piece of evidence that contradicts this line of thinking. I think now I can bring out the folding screen, because there's a bullet hole in there. This is the piece of evidence that destroys your logic.
What is that? A folding screen?
I would like to point the court's attention to the hole in this folding screen.
Ah!
It looks like you already know what I'm talking about.
Where? What? What? Mr. Wright, your explanation, please.
Are these two really that clueless? The bullet went to the defendant's sleeve first, then the folding screen. It passed through at a height of approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means... when the shot was fired, Maya, the defendant, was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground.
Order! Order!
This diagram of the crime. The victim, Dr. was hit when he fired the shot, and the hit this screen. It hit at a location about 8 inches down. Time, the was in the area. Uh... Here. Uh-oh. The judge's face is scrunched like he just smelled some serious bad breath. That is, I mean...
Wait! I just realized I forgot to brush this morning.
Oh, sorry, babe. Hold on. Okay, hopefully now it'll sound a bit better.
Excuse me while I freshen up.
Sure.
In the meantime, I want you to think things through again, Mr. Wright.
Damn it! Of course. Whoops. Ass. Okay, good, babe. What's done is done for now. I should focus on where Maya was at the time of the crime. Let's see. I think right here?
Take that!
Somewhere around here. Uh-oh. Judge's face is scrunched. That is... I know that Dick fucking showed us where before. Wait, let me look at that diagram. Do we have the diagram? Fuck. Does it have to be one fucking, like... right fucking where it is? Is it literally right fucking here? She was standing here. Oh, of course it was. She was standing here, near the folding screen. Well, wait a second. We know the defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole. But how can you gauge the distance from that? Isn't it possible that the defendant was standing much closer to the victim? That's impossible. But why? You, of all people, should know the answer to that question, Miss Von Karma. If she were shot from somewhere closer, there would be gunpowder burns present. However, there is nothing of the sort around the bullet hole of this costume. Ah! Curse you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You...
I believe it has now been proven that the defendant was standing a ways from the victim when she was shot at. But do you think this has changed the defendant's situation?
It doesn't... I don't think it would change anything. But... well, she wasn't standing close by. Then it probably would have been self-defense, right? Honestly, Your Honor, everything. The prosecution that aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with the knife would be ideal. However, where and what was the defendant doing at the time?
Away by the folding screen?
Exactly. If Maya Fey was the real murderer, why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike?
On further consideration, it does make very little sense.
Yeah, I figured there had to be a reason.
Figuring things out and proving the logic behind everything is your job.
Oof.
Alright. With this, the rest of the trial should be in the Bitch, don't wag that finger at me. Blast radius of disaster. You are such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix Wright. To think that you've been able to take a completely hopeless case to this point. Now I know why Papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me. Of all the things to inherit, why did it have to be that smarmy smile? Detective? How dare you damage my perfect logic?
How is it all my fault?
You can start repairing your standing by first removing that three-strand goatee. Oh, and rest assured, your punishment will come later.
Punishment?
Well then, Your Honor, I think I've had all I can take of this detective's face. I think it's time to call in the next witness. Next witness? That's gotta be Lotta.
Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. After we reconvene, we will hear from the next witness.
Alright, let's save our progress. Whew! That was a close one. I know you were giving it your all to defend me, but I could feel the death penalty hanging in the air. I felt like I was pretty close to dying myself.
But you were wonderful out there. You listened carefully, made theories, and tricked everyone into believing you.
Thanks. Wait, tricked?
That must be the lawyer's secret technique, right?
By the way, is the next witness who I think it is? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Lotta Hart. Oh, guess there's no escaping her, huh? Remember, Nick, you promised you'd save me. If you lose, me and my sister's ghost will come after you and haunt you.
Your sister? Are you talking about Mystic Mia?
Yeah. Do you remember her, Pearlie? My sister was a super good lawyer. She was also Nick's teacher.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Court will now reconvene. Now, the first order of... Ow!
I don't want to hear it, old man. After I call my witness, sit there quietly and watch like a good little boy.
Yes, sir.
Bring in the photographer who witnessed the channeling. Witness, your name and occupation, if you please. Hey, Phoenix, how you doing? Just fine. Sorry about this. Didn't exactly have a choice, you know. Yowza! Name and occupation. I declare, what in tarnation? Hey, Judge, this here is violence against my fair self.
That's fine.
That's fine? That ain't fine, that's a whip.
She's got it. She's got the right idea.
Yeah! There's no need for foolish outcries from foolishly foolish fools. Just hurry up and testify about what happened on the day of the murder. I haven't even gotten to say my name and job yet. The name's Lotta Hart, paranormal photographer, and I'm here to testify.
No, let's all be one big happy family, okay?
Excuse me.
Only the doc and the defendant went into the channeling chamber. We were waiting outside in the door, and then bang! We hear this gunshot. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down, and we rushed into the room. Inside was the dead victim and the defendant, waving a pistol around. I swear, other than those two, there was no one else in the room.
God, excuse me. And did you take a picture of the scene right after the murder took place?
Reckon course. Excuse me? Reckon course. It's short for you reckon? Of course I did. Ah! Does it look like I care? Just hurry up and show your picture to the court. A moment of truth. What will be in that picture? Let's see here. This here's the picture.
It would certainly seem that only the defendant and the victim were in the room.
Are you ready, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
I will clear all doubt about Maya through this cross-examination. Just watch me.
Was it really only those two that went in? What are you blabbering about? You were there too, were you not? Why don't you answer that yourself? Was it really just the two of them?
Yes, Dr. Gray and Maya were the only two that went into the room.
But hold on! We can't have the defense testifying against its own client.
Anyway, folks, only the two of them went into the channeling chamber, you hear? But you knew that from the very beginning, didn't you? Witness, continue. We were waiting outside the door, and then bang! We hear this gunshot.
Was it really a gunshot?
Are you insane? You must have heard it as well. Why don't you testify for the court, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Was it really a gunshot?
Yes, I think it was something that sounded like a gunshot.
And why are we here listening to the defense testify?
And the world becomes just a little crueler.
I heard a gunshot a long time ago, so I know. And I tell you, that was a gunshot I heard. Now this is where the story heats up. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down and we rushed into the room. I swear, other than those two, there was no one else in the room. Are you absolutely certain of that? Sure am. But that old witch chased us out of the room, so... Old witch? Does she mean Morgan Fay? And there was no one else there, and you know it. The channeling chamber was very dark, almost pitch black. Is there really no one else in there? What about... behind the folding screen? What about behind the folding screen? Did you check back there? Wreck given! Huh? What in the... Rick given. You know, you reckon? That's a given. Took me a good look around the room once. There ain't no... I can't talk. There ain't no way anyone was hanging out behind that folding screen.
If I may have a word with you, Miss Hart.
What? You got a problem?
Rick given. I mean, I'm having a little difficulty in understanding you. If you would stop saying such things as Rick
Now then, Mr. Phoenix Wright, do you see a problem with the testimony, or don't you? Her story adds up. What's worse, I was there at the scene of the crime with her. And her story is exactly how I would have told it, too. I guess I need to press her on everything and see what happens. So let me get this straight. This Mr. Lawyer... Honestly, Mr. Phoenix Wright, why don't you tell us what happened then? Yes, Miss Von Karma. I broke the door down. Sorry. Why does this feel like an inquisition? No need for apologizing. That was great. You're a real man.
Oh, really? That's something I would have liked to see.
Judge is smiling rather openly. I'll take that as a good sign. And what did you see once you broke in? Inside was the dead victim and the defendant waving a pistol around. Are you sure it was the defendant, Maya Fey? Sure, I'm sure. Lotta seems awfully confident in her testimony. Lotta, please, think back to that day one more time. What you getting at? Remember what you said when we broke into that room? I was murdered. Click. Lotta, at a time like this? Times like this are perfect for snapping up shots. But anyway, what's going on here? This gal, is she Maya? When you saw the murderer at that time, you couldn't even tell if it was Maya or Faye or not, am I correct? Well, you see...
Order, Miss Hart. You are here to present accurate testimony.
Yeah, sorry. Good. This shifts things back to my side. For a defense lawyer, your defense is terribly lacking, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Bitch. Witness, think back to when those two entered the channeling chamber. When they entered, one of those people that entered the chamber was Maya Fey, correct? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was Maya that went in.
It looks like we've come to a collective conclusion. The person in this picture is most certainly Maya Fey.
Exactly. Rats. And I'm still trapped like one. Again. Just as I thought. There's nothing wrong with her testimony. I was with her, so I know she's telling the truth.
Enough. It seems that there are no issues with Miss Hart's testimony.
At the time of the crime, only two people were in the channeling chamber. The victim, Dr. Turner Gray, and the defendant, Maya Fey.
The face of the defendant cannot be verified in this picture. However, if we think about the circumstances, it would have to be the defendant.
What am I going to do if I just let this go?
What is it, Mr. Wright? You look as if you have something to say.
If I make one wrong move, I'm going to have the judge against me. Is there anything I can present that would prove it's not Maya in that photo? I don't think I have anything.
me say first.
Well, Mr. Wright?
Nothing, Your Honor.
That's very smart of you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You really should give up trying to prove this is not Maya Fey.
I didn't say anything about giving up. I just don't have the right piece of evidence to prove my argument.
That's enough!
Is this it? Is this all I could do?
I think it is quite obvious to the court that a verdict of not guilty is not possible.
I told you. Totally 100% impossible.
Miss Von Karma, do you have any further questions for this witness?
Having established the defendant's guilt, further questioning won't be needed.
What about the defense? No further questions, I presume?
I couldn't protect Maya. The defense... Phoenix, you can't make that kind of face. A lawyer is someone who smiles, no matter how bad it gets. Mia!
Pearl?
I guess I made it just in time, wouldn't you say?
Pearls?
Her clothes are a bit small. Anyway, what are you waiting for, Phoenix? Let's go!
But how? She's already taken away every advantage.
The advantage is still in your hand. Think carefully, one more time about what you saw in the channeling chamber. Do you remember what you told me yesterday?
The key! Dr. Gray!
The brownies won't soften? That sucks. I know, babe, I'm sorry. Murdered. What? Yeah, we've been through this scene. We got it. You see, there is one final piece to this puzzle. Mia? Question Lotta one more time, Phoenix. I don't know if she's doing it unconsciously or on purpose, but she's not testifying truthfully.
Now then, this court would like to end the cross-examination period.
Please wait, Your Honor. The defense would like to request that the witness testify one more time.
Overruled. I'm afraid you're too late, Mr. Wright. The cross-examination has already ended. Furthermore,
It's fine. I'll allow another testimony. Von Karma's case is perfect. Absolutely flawless. And what better time than this for you to see that?
But, I have some place I must go after this. All right, I'll allow it. Miss Hart, hurry and give us another testimony.
Well, heck. What am I supposed to talk about?
Please, tell us once more what happened when you burst into the channeling chamber.
Okay, you got it.
See? You got through to the judge somehow, right? Well, actually, it was Von Karma's whip that got through to him. When we broke into that room, all I could focus on was Maya. I was, kind of scared of the dead body, so I didn't take a good look at it. I'm really bad when it comes to blood and ghosts and stuff. But I still managed to point my camera at Maya and take a shot.
Nothing sounds different from before.
Some parts of her testimony were very vague. I should press her on those sections. Struggle all you like, as you taste the bitterness of your defeat. Well, amuse me with your useless questions, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm waiting. When we broke into that room, all I could focus on was Maya. So, what did she look like? You know, she looked almost like a different person.
A different person?
She may have seemed like a different person. However, she was still Maya Fey.
We have already made that point abundantly clear.
Yes, that is true. Well then, Miss Hart, do you see anything else?
I was, kind of scared of the dead body, so I didn't take a good look at it.
Then perhaps that body was not Dr. Gray's at all.
Eh? Well, I reckon that's possible. If the body inside that room was not that of Dr. Gray, then whose body was it, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Well, what if it was that of Maya Fey after the channeling? Or maybe...
Ow! Foolish fool spouting foolish foolishness, just as I expected of a foolish fool such as you. If that were the case, then that would mean that Maya Fey is in fact dead. And that would make a defendant's chair quite a lonely place, wouldn't it?
Sorry, Maya.
Are you all done here? Can I continue?
I'm really bad when it comes to blood and ghosts and stuff. And even knowing that, you still persist in being a paranormal photographer?
That's why I'm getting out of this here business. This gal's got to get the dirt on the stars and be a tabloid photographer from now on.
She goes through her jobs faster than a baby through diapers.
Wah! Mr. Phoenix Wright, would it kill you to stay on topic for a change?
Well, would it, Mr. Wright?
Nice. Tag teamed in stereo. Guess I should be grateful it's not in 5.1.
But I still managed to point my camera at Maya and take a shot. 2, right? 2 what?
2 shots.
You took 2 shots.
What's been submitted as evidence?
Miss Hart, where's the other picture you have been withholding?
No, you got it all wrong. It's not me. I didn't mean anything bad. I know I can be a little mean, but I ain't evil.
Well, at least she knows herself.
Then why have you not shown this other picture to the court yet?
Well, ain't it obvious? That prosecutor woman told me to shut my trap about it.
What?
Von Karma.
Miss Von Karma, you're hiding critical evidence.
Unforgivable, Von Karma. Suppressing evidence like this, you're as bad as your father. Your Honor, the defense asked that Prosecutor Von Karma be held in contempt of court.
Well, yes.
Me? In contempt of court? You can't be serious.
But you hid evidence from the court. On purpose. That's not fair.
Phoenix, are you a lawyer or a school child?
I was so angry I lost my composure.
Miss Von Karma, would you care to explain yourself to this court?
I thought this picture was not important, and thus felt no need to submit it, that's all. How could you think? The pictures were more or less the same, so why bother with the second? I mean, it's just so much more trouble than it's worth for me to submit this as evidence.
More trouble than it's worth?
How can you say that? If you want to see it that badly, I'll submit it. That's a completely different picture. You dumb bitch.
But what is this picture?
It's obviously the second picture the witness took that day at the scene of the crime. Well, it's a little off-center, but that's what you get with a nervous amateur.
I think the important point here is the person in this picture. This is most definitely not Maya Fey. What is the meaning of this?
This might be the break I was looking for.
Now should I or should I not insist that the person in this picture is not Maya? I think I should insist that it is not Maya. Your Honor, as you can plainly see, the person in this picture is not Maya Fey.
Yes, I see that. It's not just her face. Her whole body has taken on a different appearance.
There's only one conclusion that can be drawn then. That somehow this other person snuck in and traded places with the defendant. I hear car alarms going off outside my apartment. It doesn't sound like my car.
Order! 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 Well, yes, I believe you are correct, Mr. Wright. The person who was inside the channeling chamber was not Maya Fey.
Mia, we did it! You're too soft. Huh? You're softer than Aunt Morgan's strawberry desserts, Phoenix. Take a look at Prosecutor Von Karma's face. She's smiling. I think you would better continue to worry, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Miss Von Karma, what do you mean by that?
Your Honor, I would like for you to take a look at this picture. Hold on, now I'm paranoid. I just need to make sure. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Well, we got a second picture of the crime scene with Maya's body turned around, and it looks like the nurses when she possessed Maya. And now Von Karma's like, oh, we have another picture taken at the detention center's room yesterday where Mia was possessing Maya's body. This is Mr. Phoenix Wright and the defendant, Maya Fey, during his visit.
Maya Fey? But isn't this a totally different person?
Oh, I heard a car alarm and I thought it was... And it's just been going for a while, so I just checked and made sure it wasn't my car, and it wasn't my car. But then, like, a few seconds after I pushed my button, it stopped, so I'm assuming it's someone else's car. She looks this way because she's obviously in the middle of channeling a spirit.
It's unbelievable that she can...
Yet it is the truth. When Maya Fey is in that state, she physically changes into the person she's calling. Miss Von Karma, a word if I may. Mia? Taking pictures of someone during a private visit is illegal. Surely you must know that that picture can't be submitted as evidence. Obviously, I know this picture is illegal, but I never intended to submit it as evidence in the first place. What is she? From the moment I showed this picture to the court, this case became all mine. After all, this image has now been forever burned into the judge's mind. I don't have even a single witty line. It looks like we've been had.
I don't claim to understand this, and I still cannot believe it. Are you saying that this person is the defendant, Maya Fey?
If I give up here, the trial will end. But if I slip up and say something wrong, it'll cost me. Is there any way I can prove that the person is not Maya? Yeah, I can prove it.
Your Honor? Oh, the fire's returned to your eyes, I see.
This picture. Within this picture lies a critical contradiction to the testimony up till now.
A contradiction?
So, you think you've spotted a problem with this picture? Then earn your keep. Why don't you point out exactly what is so strange? Well, where's the bullet hole? Please direct your attention here.
To the sleeve? But there isn't anything odd about it.
And that is exactly what is so odd. Something that should be here is suddenly missing.
Should be there?
Ah! There was a bullet hole in the sleeve of the defendant's costume. If that's the case, then it should be in this picture as well.
Miss Von Karma, you intended to hide this valuable piece of evidence? You will most certainly be assigned a penalty for this.
Alright, this should do some major damage to her argument. Don't celebrate yet. You like to bring down the mood, don't you? Take a look at Miss Von Karma's face. This bitch, I swear, I don't like her. Tisk, tisk. Jumping the gun I see. Jumping the gun again I see. Your Honor, I would like to extend an apology on behalf of those incompetent fools.
What do you mean? And what incompetent fools?
If those fools down at the precinct hadn't missed the bullet hole, I would have gotten a report about it. As I didn't, I could not have known that this picture was of any value to this case.
I see.
She's lying through her teeth, I know it. That woman knew about everything. The bullet hole, the picture, everything. But you still can't prove it. Franziska von Karma's idea of a perfect case is quite fascinating, don't you think? Your Honor, you need not worry. If you must assign a penalty, I'll personally make sure that detective gets what's coming. I'm sure there will be a great gnashing of teeth at his next salary discussion. Poor Gumshoe.
In any case, this is a very big problem. When the defendant was taken into custody, her costume had a bullet hole in its sleeve. However, from this photo, it would appear that right after the shooting, there was none.
The judge is confused by all this strange twist of events. This is your chance, Phoenix. Load all you've got into this one shot, alright? Got it. Watch this, Maya. Your Honor, there's only one logical explanation for the contradiction. The shooter was probably someone else, right? That's what I'm thinking. They had to have switched costumes or something. The defendant's sleeve had a bullet hole in it.
However, this person clearly does not. There can be only one explanation. The person who shot Dr. Gray was not the defendant, but a different person altogether. What?
Order! 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 If order is not restored, I will suspend this trial.
Ow! Ah! Why me? The defense's argument is a complete mess. A complete mess? I fail to see how. Please enlighten us. Hey, witness! What the heck? Is that any way to ask a gal for a favor? Be quiet, you. You were the one who said it was only the two of them when you entered the room. Well, you know, if you were lying, I swear that my whip will be the last thing you see. Look, sis, you're looking mighty scary, so why don't we say you... What? I swear, I wasn't lying or nothing. There wasn't anyone else in there, honest. You see, now riddle me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Where did the defendant vanish to? And where did this other woman appear from? Why is it lately all I want to do is cry?
Well, if the person in this picture is not the defendant, then this poses two very big questions. First, where did the defendant vanish to? And second, where did this person come from?
That's right. That's right. Now hurry up and answer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Come on. You can't fall apart here, Phoenix Wright. I can't believe that even me is calling me by my full name. But, I mean, how am I supposed to prove something like this? Had enough, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Or do you think you have enough in you to turn things around even now? To turn things around? That's right. Mia would always turn things around and change her perspective. Phoenix? So where did this intruder appear from? And where did Maya disappear to? I need to look at this situation from a different angle. Let's see. What if before we broke in, the third person was already in the room? What if Maya had left that room somehow? If I could prove that either one of those conditions were true.
Mr. Wright, let's hear what you've come up with.
I think what happened before we forced our way into the channeling chamber is... Maya had left the room. Maya had left the channeling chamber at some point, and the defense can prove this. Oh, how a foolish fool makes a foolish face while dreaming foolishly foolish dreams. Maya Fey was being looked after by her aunt, Morgan Fey. The chances of her leaving the crime scene is lower than that detective's salary.
Anyway, let's see some evidence.
Prove that from the murder until the time of arrest, the defendant had left the room. What about the key? She had a key to go in and out of the room. Miss Hart, do you remember this key? Well, I've seen it. Hey, that's the channeling chamber key, right? Before the channeling started, Maya locked the door from the inside with that. The defendant herself locked the door? Yeah, that's why we all couldn't get the door open. That key's the only one of its kind, after all.
Oh, one of a kind, you say?
Wait, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes, it looks like she's catching on. I'm afraid to ask, but why is that key currently in your possession?
Huh? What do you mean?
If Maya Fey locked herself in, then the key should have been with her.
Yes, agreed.
However, she did not have the key at the time of her arrest. Ah! Well, ain't that a kick? So how come you're holding it? I got this as a present from a certain little girl. And that little girl was nowhere near the crime scene at the time. That's preposterous. This means that Maya Fey must have left the room. If she had not, then I would not be holding this key you see before you. No!
It seems we have come to an impasse. This picture has clearly captured the face of the murderer. However, is this person the defendant or not? The defense is arguing that this person is not the defendant. Furthermore, as proof, this key has been submitted as evidence. Miss Von Karma?
How can this be?
At this point in time, a verdict on the defendant's guilt is not possible.
My perfect case. How is there a flaw in my perfect case? Don't think you've won yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I am a prodigy. I've never lost a case. And I don't intend to lose here in this courtroom to a fool like you. I don't care what I have to do. I will get my guilty verdict.
That's enough. If you would like to continue, do so in the lobby. Court will reconvene tomorrow at 10 a.m. That is all. Court is adjourned.
Wow! That was you, Pearly? You summoned my sis?
Yes. I felt like I had no choice.
Great going, Pearly. I knew you were special. Hey, Nick, did you know? Yeah. It's not like anyone else in there could have done that. Nick? I know you're trying really hard and all, but I really don't remember ever leaving that room.
And I don't think that a third person could have gone into that room.
Yeah. Well, at least we have until tomorrow to figure things out. Like, what happened in that room, for instance. Yeah, I'm counting on you.
Oh, I envy the two of you.
Oh, by the way, Nick, do you think you could take Pearly back home for me?
Sure.
Alright, Pearls, you ready to go buy some tickets?
Huh? A ticket?
Poor thing. So sheltered. Okay. I think I'm going to stop it here for now. This seems like a good stopping point. The next time on Phoenix Wright, Justice for All, we're going to find more evidence that proves my point, and then we're going to prove that Maya is indeed innocent. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you want, maybe leave a like, press that subscribe button and the bell notification to know when I play some more. And yeah, that's about it. Hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you all next time. Peace.